Today's show, life on your terms. If life is not on your terms, whose terms is it on? Right?
Universe.
Yeah, really. Right? It could be on your parents' terms. It could be on your culture's terms. You know, if you live with people of low or modest income, it would be on their terms, right? Like around here, we don't drive fancy cars or anything like that because, you know, we don't want to appear to be out of order, you see. So people absorb their terms very often from the outside world. When we speak of somebody and we say they have lived a life of distinction, or they've lived a distinguished life, or we say that's a distinguished man or woman, they're unique, they're distinct, they have called themselves forward into something that's not like everything else. There are purposes in life, and that your purpose is up to you.
Yes.
If you do not distinguish your purpose, life will give you one.
Yes.
You know, by default, we all have the purpose of staying alive.
Yes.
Wow, that's really not a very exciting life to live. So some of the sort of default purposes that people come to in life and make their life be about, but they don't know that they've done this, is to be important. Right? People want to be important. Why would you want to be important? To be safe. Important people are usually safer than unimportant people.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
They get more food, they get security service, they may have a nicer house, something like that, more money. So they're important, so a lot of times people want to be important, not to be happy, but to be safe. They think they'll be happy,
Yeah.
but really the motivation behind it is to be safe.
Yeah.
Survival motivation. Survival never was designed to make you happy. It's only to keep you alive and to be safe. So people want to be liked. Another default purpose that people inherit is to be liked or respected. Why would you want to be liked and respected? So as to be safe and hopefully to be happy. A lot of people, you know people like this, they want to be listened to as if their opinion is right. They're the right one and others are wrong. And that's their whole purpose in life. Have you ever met people like that where every time you have a discussion with them or you're sharing something about your life with them, they'll share something that's bigger or better than yours. You know, they have to, it's like a competition. They have, and yours is the wrong one, theirs is the right one. So there's people who, that's their purpose in life, is to go around making sure that they're right. Is there any full self-expression? Is there any real joy in that? And ultimately, does it make any difference for anybody?
No.
Who cares? If everybody's going around being right,
Yeah.
being important, trying to be loved and respected, what's the point? It doesn't matter to anyone. I mean, ultimately, it makes no difference. Now, the reason we have embraced growth in the first place is out of a commitment, and we're going to get around to, and I'll share with you later in the show, I'll share with you my personal terms, and I will share with you the terms which allow me to fulfill that purpose. So your terms, which I understand almost nobody that I know has ever distinguished. If you go to buy a car,
Yeah.
or if you go to buy a house, or if you get an airplane ticket, there's terms and conditions.
Yes.
Now, one of the things that you'll notice about terms and conditions of a contract is if you do not honor those, you are in breach of contract. Therefore, the contract does not have to be fulfilled, it can be broken. In your life, if you do not fulfill your terms, if you do not live by your own terms, then you will be living by somebody else's terms, and your life will not be lived. Many people have lived their lives committed to something that has nothing to do with them being alive, fully self-expressed, joyous, experiencing love. You know, you could spend an entire life, and many people, I won't even say most people do, spend an entire lifetime with the default commitments or addictions. You know, the commitment to be right is more often or not an addiction to feeling safe, to dominating and avoiding domination. What if you could shift your life from a context or an idea, the phrase, I shouldn't have to struggle, it shouldn't be so hard. Oh, but it's so hard. You know that whole mindset? What if you could shift that, and by shifting it I mean having a 180 degrees different point of view, opposite point of view to, hey, sometimes in life there's struggle. There's struggling, and some struggles are appropriate. So it's appropriate to have some struggles. What are some of the things that you've noticed, just from your own life,
Yes.
that you're committed to, that are fulfilling for you, that you could say, well, this, you could eventually say, this is my purpose, or it contributes to my purpose in life?
Yes. I stand for being healthy
Mm-hmm.
and have people around me being healthy.
Mm-hmm.
That means like avoiding substance abuse or avoiding overeating or
Mm-hmm.
just harming the body.
So
in
there's
any
some
way.
things that you would avoid.
Yes.
If you have a commitment, there's things that would be incongruent.
Yes.
Would not be in integrity with that commitment.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
So there's the things that you don't have, and then what do you have when you're committed to being healthy?
I guess living healthy, like eating healthy.
Good
um,
food.
Yeah. Exercising,
Exercise.
Drinking water, whatever.
And would that attract you and to people who are healthy, and healthy people may be attracted to you?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So you might find yourself in an environment where there's other people committed to being healthy.
Yes.
So, okay, so healthy so as to what? Why be healthy?
Being healthy, why? Because you can live longer.
Mm-hmm.
You can live with less suffering.
Mhm.
Because, like, you won't
Mhm.
get sick.
Yeah.
And then you'll stand out.
So would being healthy maybe lead to more beauty?
Yes. Yes.
And is being having beautiful things, being beautiful,
Yes.
being an expression of beautiful, is that something that expresses something that you feel is part of
Yes.
what you want in your life?
Yes.
So we have good health as a commitment.
Mm-hmm.
We have beauty, which is connected to that,
Mhm.
right? A commitment to beauty, and that doesn't just mean your beauty, but beauty in life also.
Yes.
And so as to what? I mean, what would health and beauty give you?
Mm.
See, now there's people, you know them and I know them,
Yeah.
who want to be healthy because they're right?
Yeah.
You should not eat meat, for example, because that's wrong, and being a vegan or a vegetarian, that's right.
Yes.
And so they make you wrong for not being like them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I question their commitment,
Yeah.
right? Go if your commitment is simply to be healthy and have the best possible health possible, fine,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
You don't have to impose it on anybody, right? If you want to be healthy, you don't, and you're committed to it. So in the early show, we talked about being committed but not attached.
Yes.
When you're being committed to something, it means that you're going to do that anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
Whether anybody says they like it or don't like it, your commitment has nothing to do with anyone else. Your commitment's always to you and what you want in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a commitment to health, it doesn't matter if the whole world wants to be unhealthy or if they think you're going about it wrong, you know?
Yes.
You're just healthy because you're healthy.
Yes.
People have what they are committed to. So if you're committed to health, you'll have health. If you're committed to beauty, you will have beauty. Another pathway that I believe people are secretly committed to in some cases and overtly or openly committed to in others is truth.
Yes.
People say they're committed to truth and then lie about it,
Yeah.
right? And then there are people who don't necessarily say anything, but they are inside themselves seeking truth. And then there's other people who are so committed to truth that they're going to go find out your
Yes, you're wrong.
stuff and beat you up until you get true about it, right? I'm saying all this because in order to get to your terms, and that's the purpose of the show, is to live life on your terms. In order to get to your terms, you have to be able to stand for something even in the face of things that are incongruent with that, things that are at cross purposes with what you're standing for, or even things that oppose what you're standing for, without being attached to the outcome, without getting into a fighting stance, or a blaming stance, or a victim stance, you know, but simply to stand for something and to be true to something without attachment and yet committed. Like, this shall be, I will live my life this way, even if nobody else agrees, even if nobody else does. The most powerful thing that you can do, that anybody can do, is to be true to their purpose. To choose your purpose over all other possible ways of being, over all other interferences that may intersect with your life. To choose your purpose and to stand for your purpose. See, your purpose, when you really get it, it's not about you anyhow. Your purpose is your real purpose. It's hardly ever about you. It's not about you. A life lived about me is not a life worth living. I don't think people are interested in me. They're interested in the body of distinctions that I have accumulated from a lifetime of living my purpose. I'll say that again.
Please.
Me, I'm not all that interesting. I'm just a man.
Yeah.
But I have lived a life of purpose, and I've lived a life of commitment, committed to a specific purpose that is not about me. That commitment has given me insights and visions and abilities and distinctions that I would not have had I not lived that life. Things that I've accumulated through my life that I share openly,
Yep.
right? And I'm committed to that. In other words, my commitment has become manifest as people and things that surround my life.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to know what you're committed to, look at your own life. You know, look at what you're committed to. Look at your bank account. Look at your closet.
Mm-hmm.
Look at your physical body. Look at the friends that are surrounding you and whatever it is they're into. Look at your career. Look at how you spent yesterday and today and tomorrow. Look at what the things that you're looking forward to. And look at the things that you perhaps regret. This will tell you what you're committed to. You have what you're committed to. Okay? You already have what you're committed to. Now, if you're committed to something greater, you will have that. And all of the random and capricious things that are happening in the universe, all of the possible ways of living your life, all of the possible yous that exist out there. There's so many different things that you could be,
Yep.
so many different talents that you could bring to the forefront and say, this is what I'm going to be about, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's an infinite amount of choices,
Yes.
right?